am I doing with my life? Up. Oh, hey, gang. And welcome to Seize the Memes. Live. Thanks for joining me here. I am Teenage Stepdad, and you might know me from online. This is the second broadcast. We kind of fucked some things up the first go around. In fact, I should check and make sure that I am seeing audio. That is fantastic. All right, so I guess we should talk about the elephant in the room. I mean, I'm doing this on twitch.tv, which is another billionaire-owned website. So I thought we'd talk about that a little bit today. But I think that we're going to talk about maybe a different billionaire. And I could just go ahead and spoil the surprise now, but why don't we wait till we get online and take a look at some inspiration sources, and we'll all find out together what I'm thinking today. Let's see. You know what? Let's just get right to it. What if I told you that Elon Musk is a total asshole? This is Seize the Meme. Hey, the mic still works. So yeah, guys, let's see here. I've got a couple little ideas about what we can do today. But I was thinking, I was actually at the thrift store the other day and saw a VHS tape of Total Recall. And it's got me starting to think about Martian colonies and corporate-owned excursions like that, and our old buddy Elon Musk. So I figured, maybe we should make a total recall about how Elon Musk is a total asshole. So that's what we'll be doing today. Let's see here. So I didn't buy that VHS tape. I think it's already somewhere in my collection. I couldn't find it. So I figured we'll just hop online, take a look at some source material, and make something that looks fucking cool that teases a fucking rich douchebag. So let's do that now. Computer?
Yes, Teenage Stepdad.
Can you take me online, please?
Initiating internet sequence.
We'll see you up there, gang. Oh.
Internet sequence complete.
All right, so we're up here online. This is a perfect place for us to look for some source material to hopefully find some inspiration for something cool. Computer, can you bring up my computer, please?
Sure. Why not?
Thanks, computer. All right, so we're just going to start on yet another billionaire website. It just seems you cannot escape these fuckers. So let's do that now. Let's start off by taking a look at the Total Recall poster. Let's see what we're looking at here. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool as shit. I'm already seeing here that I kind of want to go with this one. This kind of classic. Instead of Schwarzenegger, we'll have Elon in there. I'm sure there's not going to be any shortage of imagery of his face out there. The guy seems to like to, get in the portrait studio. The old Sears portrait studio. So let's see what we're thinking here. This is sort of interesting. I remember seeing one in my earlier travels online that was kind of like this guy, but let's see if I can find a big one. It's got a couple taglines here. Interesting that the graphics have a pyramid on them. We can do something with that about the pyramid scheme of global capitalism or something like that. I don't really know yet, but I guess we'll see. Let's see here. So, I really do recall seeing one that I really want to go with. And I think it was like a watermarked thing. Is it called Alamy? You know what? Fuck it. Let's take a look at this guy. Well, thank you everybody for joining me here, surfing the internet, looking at Total Recall posters. This is the guy I saw. I kind of like this use here of the, this looks to be like a Helvetica compressed bold or something like that. So computer, let's copy that image. And from there, I think it's going to be pretty straightforward process of making this say Elon Musk is a total asshole. So, you know, I guess we should just go down to the studio and take care of it. Let's do that now. Computer, can you log me off, please?
Initiating log off procedure. You are logged off the online.
All right, so now that we have the inspiration for today's meme, it's time to get to work. What do you say, gang? Let's make some fucking art. Oh, Stepdad needs a wet his whistle here. All right. Looks like the microphone's still on. We're doing great today. So yeah, before I get started, gang, I just wanted to point out that today I'll be making this meme in the Adobe suite of products. But there's a link in my About page for a software called Photopea, which is a free browser source Photoshop clone that'll pretty much recreate any of this functionality we're doing here today. That's not an ad or anything. I just think it's cool that somebody cloned all this shit for people who want to follow along at home or just experiment with their own shit. But since we're up here in the space studio, why don't we just get started like I usually do? And instead of Photoshop today, let's start in Illustrator. And there we are. And now this is a movie poster, so we'll start with a tall layout of 1080 wide, 1350 high. Let's see here. And we'll have an opportunity for a little commentary here shortly, where we get to talk a little bit about our thoughts on Elon and his ilk. So let's see here. My computer's really upset with me, by the way, with all this shit that I'm making it do. I kind of understand. It's like all of a sudden it's like, I don't just want you to make shit. I also want you to run a live production. So maybe one of these days I'll get to upgrade my shit. But we'll see. I've gotten pretty used to working with half-working software. All right, so this is a pretty classic image. There's a lot of visual elements I like here a lot. So we'll just kind of recreate those to tell the story of what we're doing here. This is kind of like a exercise in parody, kind of doing what I used to love from Mad Magazine of taking something recognizable and turning it on its face. Now, before I start laying out text, oh, you see that? Computer's not happy, folks. We're gonna do the best we can and just kind of muscle through it here. So, can I please get the selection tool, please? Oh boy. And then we'll lock that. Okay, so we just locked down our source image guy. And we gotta type out our bottom text. Let's start with the bottom of total asshole. And I can already see there's a number of ways you can use to identify a font, but I can tell right now that this isn't agency, but it looks to be heavily based on agency, like maybe a bold compressed. Sounds about right. So let's go ahead and pull him over here. We'll make this a distinct color. I usually like to use pink, but whatever you're into is cool. And you can already see there's some major differences in the Total Recall titles and the agency font. In particular, this the O, which is made more of a square in our source. So let's stretch it out and get that T to match, and then we'll kind of take it from there. Why don't we do that? Now, let's see here. And then the spacing's quite a bit off. Bring up our panel here. Maybe try this in optical and maybe space this out 150. That's way too much. So we'll just redo that. And that's kind of matching pretty good. So let's go ahead and create an outline of the font we just laid out. And then we'll do some customization. So first step, let's start with the O. Might actually be helpful too. Oh boy, my computer is not happy, guys. You know, trying to multitask a little too much. Maybe I'll write a letter to Elon and see if he has any tips for me. You know, being the tech wizard he is. That's not working for me. Let's take all of these. What? It's a little embarrassing to do live streaming because you get to see me every time I fuck up and I don't get to edit it out. It happens a lot, but that's how you learn. Let's see. We'll just kind of straighten that out a bit. So that's looking a little more like that A. Maybe we'll drag this down one more little bump. What else I notice is that with the S's, it's more of a hard edge. So, and you know, I gotta kind of apologize for dragging you along for some of this boring shit before we get to go to the more exciting photo montage stuff. But that's kind of what you gotta do. What I'm doing here is taking out the curves, joining those points together. On this guy, I'll put them into one point, drag that over. You know, creating art sometimes can be pretty tedious. But the way I look at it is that you're not really thinking about a bunch of bullshit while you're doing it. You just you don't have to worry about when rent's due. You don't have to worry about, there's something weird going on here. Let's try it this way. I think my computer's just really upset with me. So we'll see if we even get through this thing. Come on now. Yeah, there's something weird going on. I never joined those points. Okay, now we're good. And then, okay, so our S is done. We'll copy this S and we'll paste him and take out the other guy. Okay. You know what? That's going to do good for that. I think we'll just stick with the standard agency font once we get into Photoshop for the top text. And now we'll maybe get to close this program and do the rest in Photoshop, and maybe my computer will be a little happier. We'll go ahead and change this to this standard red. So let's go ahead and copy this dude. And then we'll head over to Photoshop and we'll see if it'll let me create a new document. Let's see here. You know, I guess the reason that this idea came to mind to me today is that Elon's been a bit in the news talking about how he knows better how to spend his billions in proposed taxes. And it just seems kind of, he's talking about this spreading the light of consciousness on Mars shit. And it's just like, it's so strange. You'll see because part of this process is that I'm going to have to look up images of Elon Musk, and you'll get a sense of what a person's like when you see what kind of images and myth making they're participating on the internet. And is this going to let me? Okay, yeah, sorry. And I'm already looking forward to the comments after we post this one, because there's a lot of misguided folks out there that'll defend people like Elon Musk to the death. We'll talk about a little bit about that if I can get this computer software to cooperate a bit. I want this white color to be a little bit in the gray area here. Oh man, I gotta close a program or two. Okay, so let's unlock this guy, and we'll paste him in the background here. All right, let's see here. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna shut Illustrator and hope we don't have to open it up again. This might kill the computer, but we'll see. We will not save that document, thank you very much. And we'll see what happens here. Oh, this is fucking ridiculous. Okay, sorry guys, this is all fucked up. It's a lot easier to do this in a pre-recorded format, but that was always kind of part of the deal. We're gonna make this have a similar glow. We'll start off with a white. I've got a brush here. We gotta tone that fucker down to about 50 perhaps. And all right, things are flying now. So we'll start off with our glow of white. We'll kind of do this little sharp little doodad here. And let's do this here. So we're just mocking this kind of pyramid thing that they've got here, and we're going to use the Tesla logo. I'm kind of fascinated by Elon Musk because, he trades places, seems like every week, as richest dude in the world with God Emperor Bezos. But I don't know anybody who has a Tesla. And I mean, they're not that expensive, are they? I don't quite understand how these tech guys end up with more wealth than like a piece of shit like Henry Ford ended up with at the end of the Industrial Revolution, like putting a car in every fucking garage. It all just kind of seems made up. Okay. So we've got that glow there. We're gonna add another layer back here for the red glow. After I'm done with all that, we'll go ahead and make the Tesla logo black and see what that looks like. It's all kind of a leap of faith here. And let's turn that off and then make the Tesla logo black. If it'll let me. Okay. Well, let's see here. I do appreciate y'all joining me here for this second stream, trying to figure all this shit out together. I have a tremendous respect for streamers now. I didn't realize how, kind of terrifying this all could be. But that's kind of why I was into it. Looks like I got some things going on in the chat. We'll want to go check on those in a little bit. But first, let me get through this kind of drudgery, and we'll see what y'all are thinking about. And on top of this, I'll just add some black. This is like the beauty of this kind of work, is there's a billion different ways to do all this crap. I just kind of want to hide it so it's a little bit of a halo of this really just brilliant logo. What is that? It's like a fucking... I'm not even sure what this thing's supposed to be. I'm sure it's got some very, very ultra interesting significance. We're going to call this the logo. We'll put that behind our text layer, which we might as well name bottom text. All right, so it's all looking like garbage so far, but you got to get to the end of it before it looks like the thing. It's gonna look like a half-made thing before it's a full-made thing. You know what I mean? I think I put a little too much white. Why don't we try this? Let's just do a quick way to scrub that down a little bit. It would be a quick way if I had my computer optimized a little better. Okay, so we got our pyramid element in there to represent the pyramid of capitalism, where somebody like Elon Musk is the richest guy in the world for tweeting. Oh boy, so this is the fun part, all right? Before I do any of the other text elements and shit, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to get an image of Elon himself, the man of the hour. And don't worry, I know this is on, Twitch TV, which is the Jeff Bezos site. We're gonna get to Jeff soon. But today's Elon's day, he deserves it. So let's see here. If you Google any billionaire piece of shit and include the words portrait, you'll kind of start to get a sense about what kind of person they are. Like, I bet we're gonna find something just completely bonkers. Here, look at this. He's like, oh wow, I think somebody actually painted that. I'm gonna click off that real quick. Wow. Let's go to large. The composer of this show, Bill Kiley, actually gave me a tip once that, if you need a high resolution image of a businessman to Google CEO portrait, because these guys are so into themselves. Here, holy shit. Look at this. This is like the savior of humanity shot. We're gonna use this, I think. Let's see if we can find a bigger source of that. Wow. That looks to be an actual photograph, gang. Like a real one. Okay, let's copy this dude. That's kind of the drawback of doing this kind of work, is we're gonna have to look at this picture for the rest of this process. So I'm sorry about that, gang. He's got his little hands on his chin. That's gonna be a little bit of a issue for us, but nothing we can't take care of. So let's do this and see what happens if we do select subject. I think on the last broadcast I did this, it was not very happy with me. We'll see if that's different this time around. Okay, so let's just do a little cleanup of our selection. Looks like we cropped a little bit of his cool Messiah ear here. And And then we're gonna need to crop out this part that got selected of his bust. Okay. I mean, are we done? Is that it? Tesla logo, total asshole, Elon's face? That might do it. Let's just go ahead and see our idea through to the end though. Yeah, feather 1, why not? Let's smooth it a little bit, maybe like a 5. Boom, boom. And copy him there. So we still have our reference material here to look at. You know, chin kind of buried by the title. Kind of the top text will kind of cover up the forehead up to kind of the eyebrow area. So let's go ahead and size him about where we think he might live and see what we think. Oh God, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. No. Wow. Looks pretty pleased with himself. And yeah, our logo's kind of, what can we do here? Let's put all this stuff in a layer and we'll have that be a screen layer. So first we got to turn Elon blue, Dr. Manhattan style. Let's just do about like that for now. And then we're going to turn him blue. I think that was kind of contrasty in the reference image. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we've got a color overlay. Let's take that one off. So we've got a color overlay of multiply. I think if we added another one and switched that to color, but maybe made this one darker. And then this one, if we made that quite a bit lighter, it's feeling a little bit like that. We can maybe take a look at our reference again. Okay, that's way more contrasty. So let's copy these layer styles. Let's just go for it. We're gonna go to our levels panel here. And let's go ahead and up our contrastiness, but that's getting a little maybe too much. That looks all right. Okay, there's way more overall blue on that guy. Might as well get it looking close. Maybe if we go 100% on the multiply aspect and lighten up the actual color. And then let's see our color overlay that's under that. What if we made that a little darker? Okay, there he is. He's looking great, isn't he, guys? I'm just, wow. Thank God for Elon taking care of all of us. So I want to cover up that cheek, kind of like it is in our source image. And then he had a little, the only thing white in that portrait, if you look at this, is the little blips on his eye. And we'll do that too, because we're professionals. And maybe make that brush a little harder. Okay. Take a look at our overall. That's it. We're done, guys. Total asshole. Now let's go ahead and see this through to the end. Let's see here. I kind of don't like how stark it is there at the edges where the face meets the edge. We'll do a soft black brush, kind of an overall. Actually, I don't think this one's going to take very long because it's not the most intricate design. We're not having to do weird custom 3D lettering or anything too goofy. Maybe even cover up some of that shit with him whatever that move is he's doing on the chin, the very thoughtful, trying to figure out how to solve all humanity's problems without having to pay for it. Do you think that's what he's trying to do there? It's funny, these guys. And by funny, I mean not really funny, but it's funny that they posture like their wealth was created in a vacuum through sheer force of will. And if you know anything about this dude, it's like there's government incentives for purchasing electric vehicles, there's billions in subsidies, that, not to mention the fact that like he builds cars which drive on roads, which rely on infrastructure money. It's like these guys, the whole thing that they want is to siphon all the wealth off the thing without actually having to contribute to the way that it helped them create that wealth. It's a very strange thing, but not really, because it happens over and over again. So I've got his little chin thing selected there. I'm going to do a content aware fill and see what that does. And it'll just kind of cover up those little fingers. If anybody looks close enough, they won't be able to see that. Looking good, Elon, my friend. Looking great, buddy. And let's sharpen him up a little bit with an unsharp mask. And let's up that to like 50. I don't even know if that did anything, but it didn't hurt it. Let's go ahead and make this title a little wider. And there's a fun thing we gotta grab. We gotta grab some stars. There's also always great images of stars. Speaking of like doing things for the public good, there are a billion NASA photos out there, and of course they're not like copyrighted and shit. Actually, this one's from Unsplash, which is a good free image source. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I think NASA's pretty cool. NASA's a little cooler than SpaceX anyway. I'm sure some folks would disagree with me because they want to live in that RoboCop future. Another great film by Paul Verhoeven, I believe. You know, people adherents of the RoboCop philosophy think that everything should be privatized. I guess they didn't see the movies, but I certainly did. So let's go ahead and put in our main text here. Just in case anybody is confused about who this one's about, we'll have our main text be the little gray we did from back there. I guess this is still broadcasting. I'm just going to kind of keep talking while I work, I guess. Is that what you're supposed to do? Ah! Okay. And on the top text, we should probably go into Illustrator and make it all perfect, like pitch perfect what the font is on the actual poster, but I'm also not going to because of the issues I was having over there that I'm sure will get sorted over time. So if we make it kind of match that text, I believe we had stretched it this way a bit, and then we'd added some spacing to that. That's way too much. Maybe like that. You know what? Let's not take up too much space up there. That looks about right. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to do something on this website about Jeff Bezos. I think that'll be fun. You know, that actually brings up an interesting thing. Recently, I did a piece that featured Elon, Jeff, and Mark, the three horsemen. And there were a lot of comments about why don't we ever include like the CEOs of Google and stuff. And I think it actually illustrates like a point about what these people are like. Like, I don't really use the imagery of the CEOs of Google because they have a different PR strategy for their companies than people like Elon, Jeff, and Mark, who really centralize themselves in their company's shit because it's all just a ego like trip for these dudes, which makes sense. I mean, if you made like that fucking PayPal money or whatever that Elon was into earlier, and you're like sitting on a gold mine, wouldn't you just fucking, if you weren't a psychopath, like, wouldn't you just end up in a hammock on a beach somewhere instead of like positioning yourself in such a way that everything you do affects millions of people? Like, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, it seems like a weird thing. But like the Google CEOs, for instance, like Larry Page and the other guy's names, I can't think of it right now. But those guys are like, Google PR is about the business of like Google and Alphabet and stuff, which is protects those CEOs' interests quite a bit more than like, you know, Mark Zuckerberg shows up at Congress looking like his mom got him dressed for church, and like the stock fucking goes down. Like, I don't know. Maybe you get what I'm saying, but maybe we should get back to work. Okay, so let's see here. We got to add a drop shadow to this. I just think these dudes are fucking sickos, I guess is what I'm trying to tell you. Does that drop shadow match? Man, I'll tell you, this is such an easier process when you're not talking and running a live broadcast, but this is also a lot of fun. I think I'm going to get pretty into doing this, so if you want to keep tabs on what I'm doing over here, you can follow the page, I guess, because I don't know about setting a schedule. Like, I'm sure that'll happen at some point if I get enough into this, but right now it's like whenever it kind of works. Like earlier there was fucking dudes with leaf blowers and all that sort of shit, and there was some other things that wanted to happen in the garage. I got 2 kids, so it's like, I never know. I think it might be fun to do some evening shows. So let's see here. Evening shows would be cool because, you know, I could toss back a few beers. It's a little hard for me to justify at like 2 in the afternoon, although I've been known to do that from time to time. Okay, so we've got, this is sort of recognizable as Total Recall. What I'm gonna need, if you look at the source image, let me drag it to the top here. We got these 2 planetary deals here. And I don't really want to copy anything from this poster. I kind of want to, I'm already seeing, you know what, we need way more red. I don't really want to copy anything directly from the poster. I kind of want to recreate it all in app. Before I do that, let me just do a little finishing touch on this fucker here. So we'll just do all that kind of stuff with the magic of computers. I'm sure Elon would agree with me on that one. Computers are magic. Okay, so, all right, and now we're gonna do a new layer under, maybe around here. Mic's still working? Mic's still working. We got that dicked. We got it worked out, gang. Together. So, I mean, the question remains, like, why the hell am I doing this? You know, I think I said that in my intro. I was like, what am I doing here? I don't really have an answer for that, except, to be perfectly honest, I mean, memes were getting a little... Memes on their own I'm getting to the point where I'm sort of feeling like I can make what I want without too much hassle, and my learning curve has kind of fell off a little bit, and that's not really where I want to be. So to come in here and learn how to make all these assets for a show and be in front of the camera, which was something I never thought I'd do, is kind of a cool challenge. And you know, shit ain't working too smooth yet, but if I do get my shit together at some point, I think we're gonna have a fucking blast doing this, talking about like interactive stuff that we can do, like taking prompts, things like, what do you want to learn about? I think on the last episode, we had some folks talking that they want to learn about texturing. which is such a fun process to make your own custom textures. So we're going to get into all that stuff at some point. And I think for the other planetary orb, I actually have, just the other day, I was talking about this earlier, maybe last week, I did this fucking guy with this monster that I created. So if we take that off, I can select, I'm kind of digging this flaming earth and I don't remember where I found it. So we'll put this in here to represent the stellar ambitions of these very benevolent folks that want to have these fun little excursions in space rather than deal with the fucking stuff that's happening right here on terra firma. So let's select that. I want to do a color layer on top of that. And let's make this big old earth kind of match the blue of the rest of what we're using here in this piece. And then let's turn this flame. We'll do like, let me see what happens if I do this. I don't even know. I don't know what any of these overlay settings really do until I play around with them. That looks kind of cool. Let me see what we think when we look back. Maybe if it's something less intense, like soft light. All right, so I don't know. I don't even know if that's still recognizable. It's still recognizable as the Earth, yeah. Okay. Let's add another layer on top of that. Add some reflectivity from this. Is reflectivity a word? I think it might be. Let's add the yellow. Okay, my brush is way too hard. Oh, come on, guys. Don't get crude in the comments, please. Oh, that's not the right move. I don't want red there. I want white. So we're kind of getting like the Tesla logo is so bright that it's actually making the flaming earth brighter. God, that kind of looks like shit, doesn't it? Let's soften that too. Let's screen that. And then take all that together. And let's do a little blur here. Where's my blur tool? Blur some of that shit out. Man, my computer is so unhappy, guys. I kind of get it. Okay, so we've got the flaming earth. I think this is part of that layer. Yeah, okay. And you know what? I'm not super thrilled with the way that just turned out, so let's face it down that way a little bit. We'll make it a little smaller. You know, if you make it smaller, nobody's going to notice that it's kind of fucked up. Okay. Let's see here. Maybe time for a quick break? Let me sip on some water for a sec. We'll be right back. All right, gang. So had a sip of water. Got to look at some of your comments in the chat. I see some good buddies out there taking a look. Thanks for joining me here. You know what? We're getting kind of almost there. We've got a little more work to do. Let me see here. Let's bring up the full screen here. We've got some room for some commentary up here above the weird Tesla logo that I still don't quite understand what the idea was there, but you know, graphic designers, right? And then we got some room for some commentary in the bottom. So we can definitely do something with that. So what else do we have to do on this piece? At the end, we'll do what we always do, some texturing, some post-processing, make it look a little more like an actual thing rather than a digital composition. But let's go ahead and check this out. What do I have in here? I have in this one, this oldie, you know, I could make this from scratch to go through it, but I think so that we don't keep you all day, we're gonna pull this guy over here. And this is like one of those little MPAA logos. And this is a smart object, so I can pretty quickly edit that. So let's show you how to do that. So if I go into my smart object, that's gonna open it up as its own thing. You know, we could just leave this, abolish billionaires, and turn the 1% into the 0%, but this is kind of my watermark. And what I'm thinking about is, so Teenage Stepdad, I think I'll do is really looking forward to the comments from the cool kids. Let's do to the comments from the cool kids on this. You know, because you post things about people like Elon Musk, and there's no shortage of people that will tell you that this guy is really helping humanity out. You know, people who get really like that PR works really well on. You know, people that, I don't know. I don't really understand it. Like, if we're being honest, let me save this and go back over here and see what we look at, what we're looking like. So Teenage Stepdad's really looking forward to the comments from the cool kids on this. I really don't get it. It's like humanity has a pretty vast history, and there's a lot of people out there that, if you'd want to idolize, would be a lot more interesting to idolize. I mean, and you don't even have to idolize anybody. You can just you can have like, I just don't get it. Nobody's coming to mind. I was trying to think of somebody. It's like, oh, instead of Elon Musk, you should idolize this guy. But fuck, maybe you shouldn't idolize anybody. Sorry, it's a bit of a tangent, but that's what we do here. This is not just a tutorial. We talk a lot of shit on this program. So we've got our MPAA. We've also got some room for commentary down below. And I like to do this little, let's see here. So for this group, okay, down here, so what am I trying to say with this piece? Am I trying to say anything? Am I just trying to say Elon Musk is a total asshole? I mean, that's kind of the bulk of what I'm trying to say, but let's see here. So Elon Musk is a total asshole. And this shitty future. Let me switch the font so we can get a live preview of what I'm thinking here. So for these like movie, like credits things, I like to use this. If I can type it right. I like to use Universe 39 Thin Ultra Condensed. And then I'll switch it over to a small cap setting so that the stuff you do in lowercase will still be capital letter, but a little smaller. It'll recreate kind of that computer look. We up the size here so we can all see what the fuck is going on. So I hope everybody's having a good day. I tried to start this like earlier and everything was going wrong. The other day I did the dumb fucking move of like updating my drivers for like my graphics card and stuff, even though everything was kind of working okay. I was like, oh, new update. So I've been kind of dealing with the fallout of that. I think some of what's going on here is just the lesson here is don't update shit. Just don't update it. If it's working, just leave it alone. It's a really fucking dumb thing to do as I'm trying to launch this thing. But I do dumb shit all the time. You know, this doesn't really exactly seem like normal 42-year-old man shit to do. Call a billionaire an asshole on the internet while photoshopping. Okay, back to this, sorry. That's right, folks. I am a 42-year-old man. I'm just gonna let that hang for a bit and not really say anything additional about that. You can draw your own conclusions. So the shitty future we live in is fucking embarrassing. It really is. I always thought that the future was going to be pretty cool. And I'm sure some people would disagree with me. They're like, you know, this dude wants to make colonies on Mars. Did I spell embarrassing right? Let's find out. But I don't really think he does. I think it's just like the weirdest tax avoidance scheme that anybody ever came up with, personally. So we're almost getting there, gang. I'll just do fuck you as a placeholder. In our reference here, I'll bet y'all like $5 that they stole his mind, now he wants it back, is Helvetica compressed, heavy or bold? I'm gonna say bold. Bold compressed. Shit, I think I'm wrong. I think it's extra compressed. Let me take a look here. Let's turn off that. Let's try to see if we can get it to match up perfectly. Okay, let's see here. Let's just do this. They stole his. What did they steal? So this is extra compressed. And that looks to be the font, doesn't it? That is it. All right, and then let's see what I have on my line spacing here. Close, but let's cinch it up. Let's mimic all the work somebody else has already done. They stole his mind. Let's space that out a bit because we're gonna have a bit of a blue shadow on there. This is just a placeholder, gang. All right, more commentary. It's gonna kind of break up the way you read this thing. I mean, it's like Elon Musk is some text, total asshole, but I think people are used to that. You got your top text, bottom text, those go together. Additional commentary, people will figure it out. Who cares? So we'll just do fuck you and your Martian colony fantasy. How about just fuck your Martian. Fuck your Martian. Fuck your Martian colony fantasy. Fuck your Martian colony fantasy. ... Hey, you're fucking... You know what's coming, gang? Pay your fucking taxes. Just like, don't be a fucking asshole about it. Like, we all fucking pay our fucking taxes. And we're broke as shit. I go, no, I'm only gonna have... I don't even know how much money these people have. It's like an insane amount of money. Too few people with too much money. Really gets my goiter, gang. We got a drop shadow here. We gotta recreate that blue drop shadow. And holy shit, I don't know how long we've been online, but we're getting real close. Everything's there. Elon Musk is a total asshole, and the shitty future we live in is fucking embarrassing. I wish it was a lot cooler, gang, but I don't know what to tell you. I mean, there's aspects that are cool. I'm broadcasting to you live. Instead of just making this shit by myself in the garage, I'm making this shit by myself in the garage and kind of hopefully trying to share some of my enthusiasm for what this does in my life. Like, I fucking love making art. And I'll just remind you, if you're late joining us, if you look at the About section on here, photop.com, you can use that it's a free Photoshop clone. I think it's developed by one dude, super cool shit. You don't need all this fancy computer that'll fucking not work for you when you're trying to stream or anything like that. You can use your phone. We'll go over that later. You know, so the future has some bright spots. I mean, I got to watch like a police precinct burn down live on my phone like last year. That was pretty fucking amazing. Maybe you can get on board with me on that. I'm not sure. But what we can get on board with is wrapping this fucker up and sticking a fork in it. And since I already got this open, we're gonna cheat. I'm gonna grab the texture file from this poster size meme I already made, throw it on the top of this bad boy. We'll make sure that that's lined up correctly. And this is the stuff I really enjoy doing, is this texturing shit. Okay. Oh, I just thought of something. Well, before I wrap this part up, okay, what we did is we just slapped a texture layer with a bunch of different elements in it. Some edge texturing, some grain. There might even be some like scratches and stuff like that. Something that you'd see on a photograph of a real object. But before I do that, I should say that this series exists in some might say better form, that's edited. The effects are a little better. I actually wrote the fucking thing. And that's available on means.tv. Means.tv is a worker-owned streaming service. And I really like working with those guys. So if you're into what I'm doing here, you can go to Means TV and watch a much better version of it. 6-episode series, anytime you want.
Initiating internet sequence. Internet sequence complete.
Oh, hey gang, and welcome to Seize the Memes, the digital art instruction series that encourages you to reject any and all art instruction. Seriously, I'm Teenage Stepdad, a balding middle-aged man who creates art under an internet pseudonym. You have a computer in your pocket, and that's not just a tool of consumption. It can be a tool of creation, even if all you make is dumb, weird, stupid bullshit. This is Seize the Memes. And we'll probably do more better seasons of this on that service, but until that happens, I'm just here spreading my art evangelism to whoever wants to check it out. All right, so let's get back into here. Okay, so we've got our texture layer. Now what we've got to do is our post-processing. Just finish this fucker up. So I'm going to copy everything together. Before I do that, let's take a quick look. Do we see anything we're missing out on here? I guess what we could do is take a good look at our source image. Should I slap some Alamy watermarks on there? I don't think so. I guess I'm more or less good with this. Let's get it off the full screen. All right, so we're about to wrap this up. So I don't know, dude. Pay your fucking taxes, Elon Musk. Okay, so we've got everything in this meme is on its own image layer now. We copied it all together, including the texture. I think I'll try out. This is something I like to try out. I never know how it's gonna work. Depends on the colors in the image. But if I click on everything in the red channels, I do a control click on the red in the channels panel. And then I'm just gonna shift it over. What's going on here? It ain't working for me. Click here. Did that do the fucking thing? Son of a... Oh, that's what's up. Okay. No, it's not doing it. What am I doing wrong here, guys? Okay, I'm on that layer. Oh, I'm just really dumb, I think, is what's going on. Okay, that's what's up. Okay, let's try that again. You didn't see that. I know what I'm doing. My texture layer was turned off, so I couldn't see the changes I was making live, which kind of makes sense. Okay, so what I did is I just shift the red channel over 1 pixel, and it gives everything a, I don't know if you can see that, but it gives everything a little bit of a different hue, just kind of makes the colors a little more complicated. You can especially see it down there at the commentary on the bottom. So we'll keep that on, and then we'll do, let's do a sharpen unsharp mask of 25. This is a trick I like to do to kind of unify the image. It kind of gives everything kind of a unified feel. And then we'll do a blur, Gaussian blur of 0.25 is fine. Then we'll do noise, add noise of 1. And let me go ahead and save this. That'd be funny if this thing died right as I try to save it. Current project sees the memes. Finished meme. We'll call it Elon. And then last step. The last step, just based on the way I have my stream set up, is to save it in a special spot. So we can do a big reveal together. PC. Okay. Oh, it's asking me if I want to replace it. Well, shit, guys. We didn't really get to do a lot of interactivity. That's something I'm going to try to figure out. I've got the chat in front of me, but today I just wanted to see if I could get through this. I thought all my programs were going to crash. Like I said, I'm on like 2 computers right now. One's doing the streaming, one's doing the recording, which was a weird idea, but I think it kind of worked out. But this is the part where I say, holy shit. And there we have it, gang. A finished meme. And I think it turned out pretty cool. And you know, I guess what I'll probably do is follow this up by posting this guy online and seeing those comments come in, talking about good old Elon, the savior of humanity. So that's it, gang. That's Seize the Memes, the digital art instruction program. This was a lot more fun than last time. I really dug this. And I think it's just going to get better and better. So join me for the next one, would you? Until then, it's on to the next design opportunity, the next opportunity to learn something new, and talk a little shit along the way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Seize the Memes.